Ça va YouTube, TMTC du cul. J'espère que tout va bien chez vous. Tout à l'heure, je monte dans mon bus. Et je vois sur Twitter, PlayStation France, balancer la vidéo du trailer de Ghost of Tsushima Legend. Le mode coop, enfin le mode multi-coop à 4, gratuit pour les possesseurs du jeu. Qui a l'air basé sur la mythologie japonaise. 4 classes différentes, etc., etc. Ça a l'air rigolo. Mais on n'est pas là pour ça, on est là pour commencer l'épisode 3 de The Council, le conseil de ses morts. Avec, on va cliquer, voilà, cliquons sur Depardieu avec des favoris. Et bonsoir 100K. Je valide. La colloque. C'est pas tout à fait ça. 100K qui arrive au poil de fion, et ça c'est beau. Ah oui, on était dans la crypte.
Is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything, even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Quoi? Pardon? J'ai raté quelque chose? C'est trop bizarre. Ok. 3 manuscrits à équiper. De plus en plus de manuscrits. Je l'équipe. Léviathan. Le discours de la méthode. Alors, est-ce que c'est Method Man? L'art de connaître les hommes par la physionomie. C'est-à-dire qu'il faut taper dans les couilles. Les souffrances du jeune Werther. Un livre original. Vous l'avez? Sinon, les créations d'Olivier de Rivière. Ouais, Olivier de Rivière. Un compositeur que j'aime beaucoup dans les jeux. Qui a notamment fait... Alors, ce qui est drôle, c'est que pour les jeux qu'on a fait, il a fait Vampire, il a fait Gridfall, il a fait A Plague Tale, il a fait aussi le standalone de Black Flag avec Adewale. Et il a fait la BO de Street of Rage 4. Alors, ah oui, d'accord, on était arrivé dans la crypte, on avait vu ça. Un cadavre. Le conseil. Épisode 3. A Peoples. Non, Ripples.
Louis, the conference is about to start any minute. This is not the time.
C'est pas moi. Je vous promets que c'est pas moi.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Alors, c'est la deuxième fois qu'on se retrouve dans une situation où peut-être on va être accusé d'un meurtre. Commence à faire beaucoup. Ouais, Street of Rage 4, où il a même réussi à contacter des compositeurs d'origine de la saga.
Exactly, Mr. President. I was looking for my
Une
mother and
mesure, je ne
I
connais
came
pas.
upon this body.
My God. You don't think Sarah did it, do you?
Sarah, c'est notre mère, évidemment. Oui, non.
No, I don't think so. Why would she have attacked a servant?
Ouais, seulement parce qu'elle est bourgeoise.
If no one saw you, I'd advise you not to get involved, Louis, so that no one will accuse you of the murder.
Oui, c'est vrai que ça ferait beaucoup.
Ah, darn, the conference is starting. Time is of the essence. Sort this out and join us as quickly as you can in the conference room. Everyone will be expecting you.
Ok.
Mr. President, this is not really the right time, and I didn't come for that.
Your mother's seat cannot remain vacant. You must replace her while she's still missing.
Bien
Your
sûr.
mother and I were to support Mortar on this project. I don't know what the subject is, but the future of our countries depends on it.
Ah oui, donc on sait pas de quoi il parle, mais on doit être d'accord. Putain, on dirait la République en marche.
Let the conference begin without you.
C'est pas trop
So
fort?
if you
Ça a l'air
don't
fort.
want more servants coming looking for you,
Jessica
I'd
Curie, ça me
advise
dit
you to
quelque chose
join
par
us
contre.
quickly and to put a brave face on it. The best favor you can do for yourself, Louis, and for Sarah, is to come and support Mortimer's project at the conference.
Ah. Je sais pas, j'ai pas envie de m'engager alors que je sais pas de quoi on parle.
Look, I don't mind following you, but I should warn you. I have no idea what this is all about. So I can't make any promises as to what I might do. I shall make my decision after the debate, when the time comes.
Ah, very well. As you wish. You will see once you hear everything. But given the situation, I think you will have everything to gain by joining Mortimer's side. I'm
In
going.
situ.
Don't
Il va
be
vraiment
long.
parler en latin là.
Tell them that I'm on my way.
Ces gens qui utilisent des mots en latin pour rien en fait, genre de facto. Oui, enfin, de fait quoi. T'es pas obligé de le dire en latin, tu peux le dire en français. La langue est pas si différente.
And the ashes are still warm. If you're the one who did it, Mother, it couldn't have been easy with only one hand.
Attendez, juste je fais ça. Les cendres. Ça va me coûter 0 ça, hein.
I must have just missed her. If only I hadn't wasted so much time getting out of Lord Mortimer's study.
Ouais, j'ai vu que c'était un peu fort, j'ai baissé. Après, les voix, c'est pas grave en vrai.
Leftover food. Ugh, not exactly fresh. Must have been here for a while.
Ah, d'accord. Ah oui, Dragon Age, c'est cool. Ouais. Même si, on va pas se mentir, mais The Dawn Will Come, ça ressemble beaucoup à la chanson de Merry ou Pipin, là, dans Le Seigneur des Anneaux. Hein. Mais vraiment. Vous savez, la maison est derrière, le machin est devant, là. Je sais pas quoi. C'est un petit peu abusé.
Blanket. From the looks of it, it couldn't have kept her very warm. Someone's made a fire here, and the ashes are still warm. If you're the one who did it, Mother,
Ça, je viens de le
couldn't
voir.
have been easy with only one
La
hand.
maison est derrière. Le monde est devant. C'est exactement le même début que The Dawn Will Come.
Carmelite water.
Ah, il est mort, hein. Peut-être pas en fait. Peut-être il fait semblant.
He's dead. What the hell's been going on here?
Ah oui, j'aurais. Alors attention. Non, c'est bon. C'est un homme, donc on a le droit de regarder sous son masque. Si ça aurait été une femme chevalier, là, c'était interdit. Trevor Phillips, d'accord.
Let's see what secrets.
N'empêche
he
qu'on dirait
knew those
beaucoup la
masks.
chanson de Merry / Pipin. Je ne sais pas lequel des deux hobbits.
His face doesn't ring a bell. I'm a bit disappointed.
On voit pas son
Expecting
visage,
more
c'est
from Lord
dégueulasse.
Mortimer.
Alors ça veut dire qu'ils ont pas modélisé son visage. Ils ont juste mis ses yeux. Ah, ça fait chier. Hop là, c'est gratuit.
Somebody smashed in the back of his head with something. He slowly bled to death.
Y a aucun sang par
That
terre.
hasn't killed him. They broke his neck.
Putain, il s'est fait bolosser par Solid Snake. T'es pas aussi d'acquisition, d'accord. Quel est le motif occulte de l'air? Eh bien, d'accord.
Mother, if this is your doing, the situation is getting worse and worse.
Oui, ça commence à bien faire un moment. C'est n'importe quoi. Tu pousses le bouchon un peu trop loin un moment.
Well, the gate is locked.
Là, ça commence à buter des serviteurs. Moi, je crois qu'on a eu tout ce qu'on voulait ici. Hein. J'ai récupéré une nouvelle clé, la clé de l'air. Alors, chez Mortimer, dont on a tué le perroquet, je vous le rappelle, sans faire exprès, on lui donne du chocolat. Il fallait deux clés de feu, je crois. Ah oui, ce labyrinthe de ses morts. Ah oui, le colloque, je me rappelle, c'était la salle qui était fermée, on pouvait pas passer, fallait passer. Ah mais du coup, je peux peut-être passer par là-bas. Si c'est... Maintenant c'est ouvert. Oh, le petit cul de Thésée, là. Attention, hein. Petit cul de héros grec, ça, hein. C'est pas une vraie porte. Ça non plus. Je vais pas m'énerver, c'est promis. J'espère. Donc il faut refaire tout le labyrinthe, quoi. Ouais, c'est bien. C'est bien, c'est bien, je suis pas dégoûté. Oh, j'ai gâché une de ces runs d'Isaac hier. Death Touch Guppy, voilà quoi. C'était moche. Non mais c'était abusé, c'est que genre on lui a donné, il est tombé direct quoi. C'était du chocolat au cyanure. Alors que moi je peux vous dire, l'ancien chien de mes parents, toute sa vie il a bouffé le chocolat. Elle est morte à genre 19 ou 20 ans. Bon, d'une tumeur. Mais on a bouffé le chocolat, hein. Sans déconner, hein. Donc bon. Là, quand j'ai vu le perroquet tomber direct, j'ai dit, oh, ils ont abusé quand même. Alors, en vrai, je sais pas. Je sais pas si c'est aussi violent. Isaac est triste. De toute façon, il passe son temps à pleurer, ce canard. Ce canard, oui, bien sûr. Ce gamin de ses morts. Est-ce que c'est là? Oui, je crois que c'est là. Bonjour, je veux aller à la colloque.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests.
Très bien.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference.
C'est de
Please
l'autre
join
côté,
the
c'est ça?
guests.
Bien sûr que c'est de l'autre côté, connard. Ah, je sais exactement où je vais. Je suis Louis et machin de Richet. Là, là, là. Personnellement, je courrais pas là-dessus parce que c'est un coup à glisser et à se péter le dos. Mais bon. C'est pas mon dos, c'est le sien. Vous vous rendez compte qu'en ce moment, quand même, tous les jeux qu'on fait, j'ai même pas besoin de faire les voix. Ça me fait tellement de bien. J'adore le faire, mais ça me nique la bouche. Enfin, ça me nique la gorge. Comment ça, la croix de Malte? La croix de Coronado? C'est placé dans un musée. L'art du serrurier. Alors, est-ce que c'est serrurier 24? Élixir d'or, mais élixir de ses morts. Là, j'ai eu quoi? Pièce de collection. Ah, mais c'est comme... Putain, mais c'est comme dans The Last of Us 2, on a des pièces. Ah, Mississippi. Missouri. Toujours tout de suite manger du miel. Du miel. Du miel. Ok. Allez hop, remettez vos slips, j'arrive. Ah oui, d'accord. Ah, ces petits fauteuils en béton. C'est moche.
Totally wrong, I assure you.
I have suspected it.
Ah oui, j'ai même pas RT l'épisode de... Parce que je pensais... Ah putain merde, j'ai pas eu le temps de RT Infamous, mais j'ai pas eu le temps de RT FF7 non plus. Putain, le cimetière des trains quoi. Spoiler, ça va plus vite que dans le remake. Hein. Les égouts aussi. Hein. Alors... Ah, c'est un géoguesseur. Ça c'est l'Amérique. Ça c'est l'Afrique. Ça c'est l'Océanie. Par contre, ils sont vachement rapprochés les continents. Hein. Je veux pas... C'est pas aussi proche que ça de l'Asie, hein, l'Océanie. Hein. Parce que là... Alors attendez. Bon là, à côté de moi, là, il y a l'Inde, d'accord, mais... Ici, c'est le Vietnam à droite? La deuxième avancée vers la mer, c'est le Vietnam, non? Ah, je suis nul en géographie, surtout en Asie. Parce que la Corée, c'est beaucoup plus haut, hein, c'est près du Japon. Logiquement, ça doit être ça. Parce que l'Inde, c'est la pointe. C'est la pointe vers le bas. Mais l'autre... Oh, je sais pas. Je crois que ouais, c'est peut-être le... J'ai dit quoi tout à l'heure? Vietnam? Peut-être le Vietnam. Parce que là, il y a le Japon, hein. Bon, il est collé, mais il y a le Japon. C'est un peu chelou comme... Bref, c'est pas important. Oh! Une caillasse! Putain, l'élixir d'or de... Putain, zut.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Lumière! Hop là. C'est bon, j'ai un slot pour l'élixir d'or. Un continent secret derrière le mur de l'Antarctique de la Terre plate, bien sûr. Mais non, mais c'est pas un continent secret, c'est en Asie. C'est pas un continent secret, l'Asie. Enfin, je crois pas. Pas à cette époque. Alors, j'explore tout ce que je peux. Hein. C'est pas du miel, ça. Oh oui, de l'eau de mélisse. Ah, c'était peut-être la Thaïlande, en fait. Je crois que c'est peut-être la Thaïlande, ouais, juste à droite de ma tête, là, ce qui descend de l'Asie. Parce que Laos, Thaïlande, et après Philippines et tout ça. Je crois que ouais. Je crois que c'est ça. C'est vrai que j'ai complètement zappé la Thaïlande, je suis désolé. Ça peut, si ça peut offenser quelqu'un, sachez que je m'en excuse. Ah oui, le Missouri. Attendez, les pièces de collection, on peut les voir quelque part? Bien sûr que non. J'ai plein de cul. Ah si, elles sont là. Pièces égarées dans le manoir. Non mais je veux voir, c'est quoi les pièces? J'aurais dit ouais, Laos, Thaïlande et après les îles, les Philippines.
I don't know if you ever found what you were looking for in the garden, but Mortimer is waiting for you. I suggest you get
on n'est pas dans la merde.
You say it as if you were afraid of him.
Paf.
I sense that you have things you'd like to say, but something's holding you back. What is going on between you two?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost. The siren's song, Monsieur de Richet. You wake up one morning, not knowing where you are, and you think about everything you've done for a man who wasn't even worth it. For a man who has no respect for you, who uses you, and who drops you as soon as he no longer needs you. For me, it's too late now. But you still have a choice. Don't respond to his call, sir.
Alors, j'ai une réponse. Effectivement, c'est... Alors, pas que la Thaïlande, en fait. Parce que... alors, tout à l'heure, j'ai dit Vietnam. En fait, il y a le Vietnam, le Laos et la Thaïlande, et même le Myanmar, donc la Birmanie. Et après, il y a la Malaisie, Singapour, et l'Indonésie, les Philippines, Taïwan, etc. Voilà. Vous savez, on fait un peu de géo, c'est intéressant. Je trouve ça intéressant. Donc oui. Donc voilà, donc il y a la pointe, là, c'est l'Inde. Le plus en haut, à côté, voilà, là où il y a la main, il y a la Birmanie. Juste en dessous, la Thaïlande. Au-dessus de la Thaïlande, le Laos. Juste à droite, le Vietnam. Sur la même péninsule. Hein. Et après, voilà, ça... Alors, le problème, c'est que du coup, la Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est juste ici, donc c'est juste là. Et après, ouais, il y a la Malaisie et tout ça, et les Philippines, etc. ici, donc le Japon, il est là-bas, bref. Ok, tout va bien. Et ils ont quand même mis la Tasmanie. Hein. Ça, c'est beau. Par contre, j'ai l'impression que les échelles sont à peu près relativement pas trop dégueulassement respectées, parce qu'effectivement, on voit la France, là, plus ou moins au milieu, là, qui est minuscule, qui a l'air de faire à peu près la taille, en fait, de la Tasmanie, en fait. Donc toi, je t'ai déjà parlé. Parlons à... Merde, coffre.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol.
Est-ce que j'ai l'eau? Oh. Faut jeter les deux vieux. Oh, 7. Ah bah, dommage. J'ai qu'une seule clé. Ah. Le jet royal. 2. J'ai utilisé 4 pour regagner 4. Yes. Ok. Bonjour.
Good evening.
Ah, j'ai gagné un fragment d'ombre.
Are we ready? The much-awaited conference is about to begin.
That is what we have all been waiting for.
I believe that Lord Mortimer wishes to speak to you before it begins. You should go and see him. Are you quite sure, sir?
J'ai un peu la flemme de parler à Mortimer, quoi. En plus, il va me demander dis donc, il est où mon perroquet comment on se fait-ce? Alors, il est là-bas, Mortimer. Ah, allons parler à Micheline. Alors oui, donc elle a une sœur jumelle et ma mère l'a tuée. Camoulox.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave.
Oui, bien sûr.
I still have a very important letter to give to her.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants
J'ai
to
pris
talk
du
to you,
laudanum.
Louis. Don't make him wait.
Ouais. J'ai bien compris, hein, faut aller voir Lord Mortimer. Lord Mortimer!
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly. But what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry, you are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
Non, mais le perroquet, il est en vacances à la ferme. La ferme des animaux. La fameuse. Comment fonctionne une colonie de vacances?
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all,
Mirabeau.
then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide,
Lequel?
Louis. In other words,
Celui à droite, c'est George
Gregory
Washington.
and
Hein.
myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
it can take years.
Et vous aviez la flemme d'animer les bouches ou... Qu'est-ce que ce colloque?
Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis. The world.
Our desire is to steer the destiny
Make
of
the
our
world
respective
great
countries
again.
for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
J'ai d'autres questions. Me rendant à Notre-Dame, je vis 5 femmes. Se rendant à Notre-Dame. Chacune tenant... Putain, je me rappelle plus. Le gars au cheval blanc avec une queue de cheval, oui, c'est George Washington. Le plus gros des 3. Existez-vous depuis longtemps?
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or
Premier
less
président des States.
always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Vous réunissez-vous souvent?
Do you
Vous faites des
often
merguez
hold this
parties?
kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact, it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings.
Des événements? Genre la Trackmania Cup ou le Z-Event? Vous aussi, vous êtes tous des vendus? Ultra malaisants?
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation. in
N'importe
France.
quoi.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing.
N'importe quoi, c'est les assassins. J'y étais. J'ai plus de questions.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Comme ça, après, ils vont nous casser les couilles, genre si on n'avait pas été là, vous parleriez allemand. Gna gna gna. Alors qu'ils nous ont vendu des bateaux pendant 5 ans. Quasiment.
Lord Mortimer, I'm sure you're aware that Louisiana is hardly prime quality land. I wouldn't be exaggerating to call it marshland. How is acquiring land they won't know what to do with going to strengthen the United States?
Think further, Louis. The United States won't stop there. Once they've acquired Louisiana, nothing will stop them. All they would have to do then is keep pushing toward the west to take the whole North American continent.
So you intend to get rid of the Spanish?
They are purely transitory. This is the settlers' home. It is natural for them to want to develop their nation to become one of the greatest powers of this world. As for the Spanish, there are just a handful of them actually on site, and if need be, we'll see to it that they are sufficiently occupied in Europe so that their focus is not on the North American continent. Moreover, Spain really only cares about its colonies in South America. It's hardly my fault if they're not capable of seeing the potential in the North American territories. The concept of royalty is from bygone times. It is time to lead the way to democracy.
Oui, la démocratie,
Take a look
bien
at them.
sûr, la démocratie.
Apart from
Ça marche
President
bien, ça.
Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs
Oui, c'est l'un des
visionaries
stupides.
like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
De toute façon, historiquement...
My friends, I propose we get started.
Bon, on se rappelle que dans son bureau, on a trouvé des trucs chelous sur des... et qu'on se demande s'il serait pas un peu immortel, lui.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
J'avoue, balayer devant sa porte, ce serait pas mal. Alors là, franchement, je suis d'accord avec lui. Hein. Enfin, les sauvages, c'est les êtres humains. Ouais, hein, c'est sûr. Paf. Ouais, et l'esclavage alors? Oui, bon, c'est vrai que on est un peu déconné, c'est sûr. C'est bien fait, putain.
I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
Senor Godoy, you must know that France will soon ban these barbaric practices.
Oh, do not get on your high horse, Monsieur Frenchman. The only reason why France has ceased trading in slaves is because of the commercial blockade that Great Britain has imposed against you. The instant the shipping lanes have been restored, France will again treat these people like cattle.
Come now, my friends. Let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits too.
Oh putain, c'est Macron.
Mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue.
C'est Macron.
Manuel, I believe that
La colonisation, c'est quand même pas mal.
Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Merde, je suis nul en
Even
politique.
if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana,
toute
should
l'Europe.
persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Merde.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'à cette époque-là, la France est encore laïque. Enfin, est laïque et a tué son roi. Même si normalement elle c'est encore laïque maintenant, mais bon, si on écoute les politiques, voilà. Il n'y a pas eu une messe là? Si, pour l'Assomption, là, il y a eu des messes, enfin il y a eu des commémorations dans la rue. Il n'y avait pas de policiers. Ouais, bref. Ah, la France protégeant les chrétiens, ça c'est vrai.
On the maps of Italy I saw in Mortimer's secret study, he had anticipated movements of troops across Italy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's planning an invasion of Italy by France, and if I push the notion a bit further, I can well imagine that Bonaparte's cannons, financed by the order,
On va
will
pas
be
parler du
used for that
perroquet.
purpose. The noose is tightening around poor Piaggi's neck without him even realizing it. I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about that, Your Eminence.
Ça coûte cher, 3 points.
Well, I think that the French army will enter Italy, and that the Vatican will do whatever France demands of it, if the Vatican wants to retain its place.
You are joking, I hope. Lord Mortimer, I did not come here to listen to such nonsense.
On fout la merde,
What
ça y est.
makes you think that,
Oui,
Monsieur
les
de
protestants.
Richet?
Well, Monsieur Bonaparte, here present, has ordered a large number of cannons, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were to be used to keep Italy under control.
Come, sir. What a strange idea. I have
Putain, mais-
enough on my plate with issues in Corsica.
If you say so.
You see, you're...
But Corsica is not where the cannons are to be delivered, is it?
Aye, but... Ah, Louis, you are quick-witted. I like you.
You seem to be overlooking something, Messieurs les Français. I also have backers who would be only too pleased to demonstrate the full extent of their fervor by defending the
Ah,
Vatican.
ils sont tous en train de se montrer leur bite là.
Now che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
D'accord.
Duchess, I am persuaded that
Ah oui,
we
mais je suis
shall
nul en
find
linguistique,
common
moi.
ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
J'avoue, tout le monde s'en
Speak
fout
for
de la
yourself,
Louisiane, même
my friend.
maintenant.
Hold on
Les
there,
Américains
Mr.
s'en branlent.
Wild Gigolo.
Enfin, en tout cas, les
Lower the
dirigeants.
volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Alors, décider à ma place, moi je sais pas quoi faire. Décider à ma place. Franchement, là je. Je sais même plus qui c'est. Holm, c'est l'allemand, je crois. Hein. Non, pas du tout. J'en sais rien. Ah, c'est Gregory Holm, je crois. Donc c'est au milieu. Ouais. C'est Fontainman. On reste. Putain, 50-50. Putain. Si j'avais su, j'aurais pris une pièce directe. Ok. Si personne d'autre ne me paraît moins fourbe. Tu veux dire, le mec qui est maquillé et qui ressemble au Joker, il paraît moins fourbe. Très bien. Alors, pile, Mortimer face Holm. Oh, putain, merde. Je refais. Bah, c'est face. Donc, go Holm. En même temps, il y a Micheline, voilà. Mais le pape, enfin l'autre Piaggi, là... Elle va choisir Orion. Orion, elle est partie se coucher, là.
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the order.
Louis? No, let him go.
Mais t'étais pas d'accord, toi?
Everyone is free to choose.
L'autre, il était pas d'accord. Il dit, non, reste là. Vas-y, défonce mon pays. C'est ok, ça me dérange pas.
How can he be so blind? If he keeps this up, he'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately.
Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting?
Ah, je dis rien.
We shall shortly find out, so let's take the lead. What do
Ça
you
permet de
think
les
about that?
espionner en vrai.
His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. On your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France.
What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregory?
What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially.
And me, Sir Gregory? How can I help?
Louis, you have won my trust. The Order will have to act in France, but even before that, I'm going to need you. Right here and right now.
Sucez-moi la
Leave me
bite.
now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. Louis, I'd like to
Ah,
see
attendez, ils
you
viennent de
in
se
the
mettre d'accord
office.
pour attaquer la France?
Thank you for siding with me today. I won't forget it. I'm going to need you. Help me counter Mortimer on his own ground. Right here. I'm sure he'll try and win some of you over. He needs our votes. Now, you leave that to me. In the meantime, I must ask you to go and see President Washington and persuade him to trust me and join us.
Merci, le hasard, c'est la merde.
Do you really think that I'll be able to convince him?
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I have total faith in you. He likes you, and thus he won't see you coming. You
Oh,
must
il
be
a
careful,
mis.
though. If he senses that you are trying to manipulate him, he'll dig in his heels. Louis, use every means at your disposal. If Washington drops Mortimer, his defeat will be complete. You should go right away. There's no time to lose. William already has a head start on us.
Very well. I'll go right away.
Très bien. Compliqué, hein. Ok. Un peu du piano ou... Essayer de convaincre George Washington. Mais d'abord, un peu de miel. Putain, c'est ça en plus. Un petit peu de gelée royale. Un petit rail de gelée royale. Alors, la chambre de George. Donde está la cambra des Georges. Ça a de la gueule, hein. Bon, je me disais c'était peut-être la carte du labyrinthe, mais en fait non. Absolument pas. Alors, George Washington et Hillsborough, Bonaparte, Pérou, de la Tour, Von Wollner, Adams, Washington. Évidemment, c'est de l'autre côté, connard. Petit c'est toujours très simple et pas casse-gueule, bien sûr. Faut juste beaucoup d'argent et énormément de sang-froid. Malheureusement, j'ai ni l'un ni l'autre. Même dans un jeu. Putain, d'ailleurs, en parlant de pognon, quel gouffre d'argent les armures finales dans The Witcher 3. Hein. C'est vraiment un scandale. Plus de 20 000 balles par armure. Georginou. J'aime l'argent. Je vais essayer de farmer cette semaine. Si je peux avoir 100 000 balles dans The Witcher, j'aurai un peu d'avance. Il est là.
Locked.
Adam Ned. Oh, putain, je défonce. J'ai pas de petite clé. Je suis pas allé dans le donjon encore. Et vous vous rappelez Zelda?
My dear George.
J'ai déjà lu ça. Sûr et certain.
Portrait of George Washington.
Mais il est où? Donde está Jorge? Jorge, c'est en la cocina? Jorge no está aquí? Putain. De l'élixir d'or.
Louis? What are you doing in my room?
Ah.
Mr. President, I won't beat around the bush. I came to persuade you not to follow Lord Mortimer on this one.
I appreciate your forthrightness, Louis.
Yes.
That will save us some time. Well, since you're here, can I get you something to drink?
Je savais que ça lui plairait.
No, thank you, Mr. President.
As you wish. Well, Louis, it's getting late, and this is not my first conference, so let's get straight to the point. You are here to motivate me to change sides.
I have decided not to follow Mortimer.
I noticed. Every man must make his own choice. What can we say? That's the political game. And you did not commit to supporting Mortimer, so there's nothing for you to feel.
C'est vrai que je m'étais pas engagé. J'avais dit ouais, je sais pas.
What can I do for you?
President Washington, I regret that my situation is contrary to yours, especially as I really do respect you.
Me too, Louis. Let us not mix business and emotion.
Understood. I've just come from a meeting with Sir Gregory and his supporters. They are all rallying against Mortimer's project.
That is to be expected.
Great Britain, the Kingdom of Spain and Sicily, the Kingdom of Prussia, the Holy Empire, the Kingdom of Portugal, of Bohemia, and of Hungary.
I know, Louis. I know. The coalition against France also gives me cause for concern. I'm certainly not saying that, on paper, Mortimer's plan seems very viable. Anyway, you haven't really said what you wanted to say. Tell me, Louis, what have you come here to sell me?
You should join home.
And why would I do that?
Alors. J'ai envie de faire ça.
Yet, hearing you speak, anyone would think that your closest ally is France.
Louis, I don't know.
Of course you intend to restore and foster an exchange with England. We both know what that means. It would weaken France's impact on American soil. From there to relinquishing your agreements with France is just one simple step.
You scored a point, Louis.
Yes.
Go on, I'm listening. Tell me what Sir Gregory has to offer that I don't already have with Lord Mortimer.
Ah. Je pense que c'est un piège ça, mais on va tenter.
You are a man of conviction, Mr. President. You would never make a choice that could cost the American people very dearly. If Mortimer falls, he will bring the United States down with him. Haven't the American people suffered enough?
I would never do anything that would put my people in danger.
Exactly. Therefore, choose your allies wisely, sir.
I must admit, your argument
Le sans
makes
faute.
sense, Louis. Louis, you've convinced me. I congratulate you for your performance, because I didn't think it could happen.
I merely exposed the facts to you.
Don't spoil everything with your false modesty now. You really were very good.
J'ai comme réussi à entourlouper George Washington.
In any case, I shall follow you on this one. This may well arouse Lord Mortimer's wrath, but I must put the United States before anything else.
Cette personne est un
Have we
piège.
finished, Louis?
Quoi?
Absolutely, Mr. President.
Le gâteau
I
est un
shan't keep you
mensonge.
any
Cette personne est un gâteau.
Allow me to take my leave.
Good night, Louis. Get some rest. Tomorrow will be a very big day.
Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Eh ouais. Alors ma chambre est pas loin, je crois. Hein. Van Volner. Absolument pas, elle est là. Et la paf poignardé dans la nuque.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me.
That's me. Dr. B. Ah oui. J'ai bien vu quelqu'un, oui.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming
Moi, pécho.
surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Va dormir, Louis, c'est pas le moment. Bon, allez, pas du tout.
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, congratulations on choosing Sir Gregory this evening. You surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
Why,
N'y attendez
Emily,
pas non plus. Hein.
can't you
Merci
read
les
me
pièces
like
à
an
50
open book?
centimes.
Not as well as you read me, it would seem.
I'll teach you if you'd like.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Well, I should imagine you're still shaken. I promise to shed light on my mother's circumstances as soon as possible.
There's not much to shed light on. What your mother did is inexcusable. She won the trust of my sister in order to more easily betray her. She didn't do anything to her. Can we change subject, please?
C'est toi qui as
I
commencé.
didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Eh ben d'accord.
Come, Louis.
Ok. Et là, paf, assassiné. Ah, une vision.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position. And Duchess Hillsborough. Oh, why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her. What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he is intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Hein? D'accord. Des fois c'est bizarre. Est-ce qu'ils auraient pas envoyé Micheline pour me séduire? Et fouiller dans mes affaires. C'était brusque. Ah bah ça... Putain, mais ce lit est immense. On pourrait coucher à 5 dessus.
Emily?
Ah, plus maintenant.
Emily? Are you there?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Oui, bah j'arrive.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Je remets mon slip.
The game is back on.
Je remets mon slibard. A plus tard YouTube. Des bisous. Des os. Des os pour le suspense.